Welcome to the Deacon. Just had a few more thoughts I want to share as a reply to the email I talked about in the last podcast. And she says she's got a fear in her heart and she can feel some uneasiness going on inside of her. And she asked, I have to ask the question, she says, how can it be that God feels so unsure? And where does hope get in the picture? Hope in a hopeless world. I was praying about this before doing the podcast, and one of the most simple answers I got was, I was thinking times in my life, I felt that God reminded me of some of my best friends when I was a teenager, who it was just BFF, best friends forever. Where then suddenly we changed schools and I started traveling, and some of my friends got married before I did and got kids, and I was still single and traveling around. Not anymore. I'm married and I got a kid, and that's nice. But I started quite. Sometimes when I would see this picture of one of my former best friends, whom I hadn't talked to for years, on Facebook or wherever, I would think, oh yeah, he was a really cool guy. It would be nice to hang out with him. And then I was reminded of all the great times and great memories we had. But the time when there's been times in my life where I've been questioning my relationship with people because we have not been communicating. And when you don't communicate, that's where confusion and disbelief and uneasiness, insecurity grows. That's in all relationships actually. Marriage, very much. Dating and just good friends. And God, Jesus in the Bible, he describes us as the bride, Jesus as the bridegroom, that it's a relationship, and it requires communication. So, to me, absolutely, and flat out honestly, I feel unsecure about my faith in the way that God intervening in my life and my purpose in life when I don't communicate with Him for a while, when I don't meditate on Him and His Word, and number one, prayer. And not just the prayer right before I fall asleep, but the prayer where I fall on my knees and I seek Him. I try to have no agenda, just whatever comes to my mind, and I try to put that up against it. Is it just ideas of me, of my own, or is it something that goes in step with the Spirit and the Word of God? When God feels far away and dim, we need to get back to Him in communication, prayer, meditation, meditating on His Word, on His promises. And in this day and age, the Christian culture is often, definitely in the modern world, Western, we're being spoon-fed. We go to church, we sit on the pew, we listen to a sermon, we say hi and maybe hug, and good seeing you, meeting new people, God bless you, and maybe we even pray for someone right before we leave the church building. And that's about it. And then we think, was it a good service? Yeah, I got something out of the sermon and the worship was good. But the Christian life is life. It's life throughout your life. 7 days a week. If the week had 8 days, it would be 8 days a week. Life have God with it as a part of your everyday life. 24/7. So my encouragement to you and myself is when you feel questions, ask those questions. Yell to God. Walk out in a dark wood at night with no people around. Just yell out your questions, or in a basement, or wherever you want to do, in a pillow. And make sure you communicate with God. Ask the questions, communicate with God. It's a relationship. Alright, well, thanks for listening, and I'll see you next time. Alright, I just had one point I wanted to make. I was just reminded of a story with Peter walking on water, where Jesus says, "Come." Peter keeps his eyes on Jesus, walks on water. He can do anything through Christ when he's got his focus, until he looks at his surroundings, the water, the waves, the wind. There's a storm out on a huge lake, and he starts to sink because his focus is on the circumstances and not on Christ, the solid rock. So when we keep our eyes on Jesus, that's our fortress, our solid rock, that is where everything is possible, and we can feel peace in the storm inside of us and around us. So encourage you to meditate on that. Matthew 14:29. Wish you the peace of Jesus Christ within you today.